Spider-Man Homecoming, a story back when the MCU was at its peak and every single one was an event and that they didn't flop at the box office.
Protesting is patriotic. Let's get on the bus.
But if we shift the perspective from the 22-year-old trying to pass for a 14-year-old, and no, not to the 27-year-old trying to pass for a 14-year-old, and to her father, the villain of the story, Adrian Toomes, aka the Vulture, then it becomes a story of watching Tony Stark and his motley crew of tied-up morons destroy New York and then be gifted the job of cleaning it up. And then for you to go full black market arms dealer, because if you can't beat a dealer, you become a better one. But to understand that, let me just put you in his shoes. So imagine for a minute that you are Adrian Toomes. You are a family man. In fact, you love your family more than anything in the world. You would do quite literally anything for them. And one day you're just minding your own business when you see New York is under attack. It's on the news. Hell, you can actually feel the rumblings pretty much anywhere within the state of New York and New Jersey. Luckily though, you and your family survive. And even more luckily, you gain the salvaging rights to clean up the city.
I have a city contract to salvage all this.
A job that you take immense pride in because, well, this is your home. This is where your wife and kid work. They play, they go to school. So knowing that you have an impact in ensuring those places' preservation and continuation while also getting paid for it is a dream gig. So naturally you go all in. You take out loan after loan. Like, this is your big break. This is your one shot. If you do good here, who knows where this could take you? But imagine your surprise when halfway through the operation, none other than the Avengers goon squad come in and take it away from you and push you into a situation where you could be left in financial destitution.
I'm all in on this. I could lose my house.
I'm sorry, sir. There's nothing I can do.
The worst part is that these people feel absolutely no empathy for you.
Maybe next time don't overextend yourself.
So you give them an extended elbow. Serves them right, these lunatics in suits and hard hats coming down here pretending they know what's going on. This is where the bottom feeders eke out their minuscule livings while they, especially Stark, sit in their ivory no, Avengers Tower. Honestly, it's the same fucking principle. They destroy your world and then get paid to clean it up. It's a cosmic joke. But honestly, what's the most surprising about this whole thing is that the government couldn't even try to cover it up even if they wanted to. They just had to admit it. The whole world actually saw it was aliens. And nothing happened. Everyone just kept on living their lives. On his eyes. But you thought way too much about Superman, and you learned pretty much everything. You were even close. So, defeated, you and your boys, you go home that night, and you contemplate your future, because now you have one where your wife leaves you, and you spend all of your years paying alimony and debt without even being able to hug your own daughter. It's a nightmare situation.
We could have made some pretty cool stuff from all that alien junk.
Instantly, the wheels turn. Like, your life is fucked. Worse than fucked. But here you have a metric ton of alien technology. Some guy who, in one afternoon, has already built a prototype of a flying turbine from a box of scraps, and nowhere else to go. So you do what any self-respecting family man does with zero prospects. You turn to a life of crime and start selling meth out of a... No, but seriously, like, why not just steal this alien technology and sell it on the black market? Tony Stark built his entire empire off the backs of millions of people dead in the Middle East. Why is he allowed to do that shit and you're not? Just because he's rich? No, come on, man. No, it's time that you started to look up. It's time that you leveled the playing field and went into your very own Robin Hood arc. And 8 years passed, it completely changes your life. Where you once had to budget and scrounge and scrape coins together, you entered a new era of prosperity. You got a nice house, you got a nice car, you got not too much, but just enough that you're comfortable. Could you have pushed more and got even more money? Sure, but why do you need to? It's a lot of risk for not that much more reward. And it's not really about wealth or even necessarily money. It's about living a good life with your wife and having enough to send your kid to college. And for that, you're good. More than good. Plus, if you do have a bit too much, money becomes harder to clean, especially when you're a humble salvager. It raises some eyebrows, and there's one thing that you don't fuck with, and that's the IRS. Anyway, your crew does have this nasty habit of naming each other cringe wrestling names. You're a bit too old for that, but just because you wear an aviation jacket with a fur collar and have claws on your feet, and honestly you're a salvager, they call you the Vulture, which is annoying. The claws are there so it makes your life easier to carry shit. And, well, the aviation jacket was designed for cold winds, and it's pretty cold up there where you go flying around. Like, trust you to get a name like the Vulture for purely practical purposes. But a side note, vultures are awesome, and are even what the Zoroastrians used to decompose their dead in a roundabout way. You look into it. Actually, I also have a vulture tattoo, not because I'm an edgy emo or anything anymore, but because they're fucking cool. They are the world's janitors. They do a thankless job that keeps the world turning, only to be scorned and hated because they're not traditionally beautiful.
Look at this dude.
It luckily turns out that your little engineer guy is actually a secret savant tinkerer. And between the two of you, you knock out some truly insane technology. Though for some reason you decide to go with giant wings with rotary blades despite having anti-gravity technology. You even develop matter phasing, but you guys do keep that one close to the chest. Even more luckily, in the 8 years that you do this, more life-changing events happen. A psychotic robot developed by none other than Tony Stark himself almost drops a city from space. But while that was nearly a loss of life, that was just actually more advanced technology for you to salvage. But what's even most fortunate of all is no one rats you out, turncoats, or does anything because you have a strict rule. Don't fire these weapons out in the public. Sure, people who procure these weapons will use them. That's kind of what they're there for, just like what happened at the ATM the other day. But it never comes back to you after you sold them.
Business is good.
And just try to understand your utter astonishment when you get a phone call. A couple of guys are breaking protocol, which is just so tedious. You have to deal with this, and it's close to your house as well. Like, if they're gonna fucking shit the bed, the least they could do is not shit their bed next to yours. But just as you're about to swoop in and tear these guys a new one, you actually catch something else. A guy in red leotard. Great. Another masked hero. Well, actually, not many of them wear masks, do they? Anyway, it's another one of these freaks running around New York, just like that kinky weirdo with the devil horns and the whips all around the kitchen. But anyway, you got this guy, you drop him in the Hudson, thanks to a parachute. Talk about weird. You can't really chase after him, because you did just see the Iron Man fly in and get him, which is honestly problematic to say the least. And even despite that horrifying thought, you actually have even bigger problems to deal with right now.
Idiots.
You are fuming. This is the kind of shit that you just did not want to deal with. This is why you've been careful, why you didn't take risks. Because it's these stupid mistakes that bring down empires. And when your empire is hanging by a thread, you don't do this shit. These guys got fat off the land and just thought they knew it all.
Your wife keeps texting you something about a brake light.
What did I tell you about looking at my phone?
And even worse, actually, your guy's been looking at your phone again, which is annoying because you've now just been reminded about how you've ignored your wife all evening and you're going to go home and get nagged until the end of time about how you don't care about her needs when you're literally doing everything humanly possible to keep your family from losing everything you work so hard to accomplish. And honestly, you would smack this guy all up and down, but my God, you have to respect him because he's just so open and honest about the situation. Like, he does not blame himself. It's like your fault for letting him have the opportunity. But this straight shooter, he just keeps hounding you about the big one.
In case you want to, go for the big one.
Which honestly is equally stupid. Why would we do that? It's such an insane risk. Yes, the reward would be amazing, but we're good. But this is just a little road bump. Why rock the boat? And that's the ethos. Why rock the boat? Just keep going and everything is fine. And those absolute dickheads, they come back looking like that. They're smiling, like they're laughing. The van has very clearly got a specific type of damage done to it. Very noticeable, very traceable. And here they are, just beelining it straight back to the shop without a fucking care in the world.
Wearing that goofy thing, lighting up cars, calling yourself the shocker of the shocker. I shock people.
So you give them a dressing down that would shock even your high school football coach. And he's just rolling his eyes at you, giving you back chat. Actually, he even has the audacity to threaten you when you are just asking a very reasonable and understandable request.
I can't afford your bullshit.
What if you can afford me out there, though, right? With everything I know.
But of course, he's greedy. He wants to show off. He wants his name in the lights. The shocker. He wants this to go to the next level. He doesn't want to keep it low-key. He probably thinks with that glorified knuckle duster, he could take on the Hulk or something.
Maybe your wife would like to know where you really get your money from.
But of course, if someone is going to threaten you, you gotta stop them, so you reach for the anti-gravity gun.
I can't afford that.
Oh, whoopsies. Whatever, it's like that. It's not that big of a deal. Like, not even his teeth survive. There's nothing to trace it back to you. He'll just disappear. Just like the weapon that he lost that you now have to find. But while your goons deal with that, you head up to Maryland for a small heist. Some stuff in transit for Stark's goon squad. And guess who shows up? None other than Mr. Red Tights. Seriously, was that supposed to be a challenge? Iron Man saved this guy. Isn't he supposed to be like an Avenger or something? And the next day, your daughter went on one of these field trips, and she won the decathlon. You are immensely proud of her. But she actually got into an accident, a serious accident actually. The elevator on the Washington Monument nearly came crashing down. But then that same guy came and saved her life, and they're calling him the Spider-Man. Of course, you do have a deep appreciation for that, like he literally saved your entire world. But by interfering with your work, he's preventing you from providing for her. And if you can't provide for her, she will never get a good job and become successful. Ergo, she won't do anything with her life. So you need to stop him, regardless of what he's done. But then it gets worse. Like, you're doing another drop, and this time it's on a boat for reasons. And this spider guy shows up, but then so does Tony Stark and the FBI. Now, okay, it's like, this is extraordinarily concerning. Clearly, they must have seen your van or something. How else could they have tracked you? It was very obvious what happened, and you have to confront the very idea that this thing is unraveling in front of your eyes. And that night, one of your guys is spooked. Like, justifiably, the walls are closing in, and he wants to hang it up, which it makes sense, but you are too far gone. You have a mortgage, you have to put food on the table, and your girl is just about to go to college. Who's gonna pay for that? Definitely not fucking Iron Man. So you figure it's time for the big one.
Mason, can you get that high-altitude SEAL thing up and running in time?
One last heist, a Hail Mary, steal it from the Golden Goose himself. Why not? At this point, you have nothing left to lose and everything to gain. But before all that, and coincidentally, on the same night that you decide to do this, your daughter has her homecoming dance, and her little nerdy boyfriend is coming to take her out. It's so cute. He's so out of his depth. And I mean, you fondly remember the first time you met a dad. You get it, but honestly, he's a bit of a nothing burger. He's got no charisma. He's kind of short. It's hard to see what your perfect daughter sees in him. But whatever, like, he's not a threat. He's very polite. He's very well spoken. He has a funny accent though, almost as though he's putting on an American one. But then on the car ride there, they start talking, typical young love romance stuff about how they met, what they do together. It's like they think they're old and nostalgic or something. But then they let it slip that he knows Spider-Man.
You got to hang out with Spider-Man.
It was at this moment that he knew.
Spider-Man.
He fucked up.
So you dig and you fish for clues. Ask rather, not innocuous, but questions to try and see what he actually knows. And then everything kind of falls into place.
Oh, yeah. It's all coming together.
Your daughter is dating Spider-Man. That's why he was so scared about meeting you, because he knows who you are. And honestly doesn't know what to do with. Then you even hear his voice. That same irritating, snarky, cocky voice.
Very lucky that he was there that day.
Ah, yes. That sense of fear is just evaporated. He's cocky again. It's confirmed. Well, you figure he's a good kid. He saved your daughter. You could give him one chance.
I'm gonna give Peter the dad talk.
So you give him a chat. You're giving him an opportunity. Of course, you don't expect him to follow through on her. So you get one of your guys to wait for him to come out of the school.
I just saved your life. Know what do you say?
Okay, yeah, maybe that one was a bit weird or a bit too far, but you gotta put the thought of mortal danger in his head. Gotta make him realize that he's playing with the big boys now. Granted, he did just go to Europe and fight Captain America. Anyway, unsurprisingly, an hour later, he rocks up as you're getting dressed. It's fine. It's why you brought him specifically here, because it seems that you can't beat him through conventional means, but you can do things that he doesn't expect. He's a kid. He thinks everyone's straightforward and honest, but big boys are not straightforward and honest. That's how you find an edge. So you chuck a building at him. Brain beats brawn, and you head off to steal your riches. And the heist, it goes well. For a genius like Tony Stark, his security is criminally terrible. In a world of giant green men, aliens, literal Viking gods. Also, why do people still believe in Christianity at this point? And there's not one guy on this aeroplane defending it that's carrying some of the strongest and best exotic goods on the market. Honestly, it's a shame if someone didn't steal it all from him to teach him a lesson about being so monumentally stupid. Great. He's back. He needs to change his wrestling name from Spider-Man to Cockroach Man, because like, no matter what you do, he just keeps on coming back. You even bring down the aeroplane with him on board and he still survives. Seriously, how is that possible? He doesn't even have a suit. He's literally wearing a hoodie and he doesn't even get a scorch mark. Yeah, so you just swoop in and take him out as he's clearly having a Saving Private Ryan moment. I mean, at this point, you almost feel bad hitting a kid, but at this point, you have chucked him in a river, left him to die on a boat, chucked a building on him, and crashed a plane with him in it, and he's still here. Rather than finish the job, for some reason, you've decided now is the perfect time to go and steal someone. Despite all conventional wisdom and this kid's ability to recover and perform miracles, you decide to ignore him, not kill him, and go for some mini arc reactors. Granted, one chest is probably worth its weight in, well, actually it's probably worth the GDP of a small country, but you could still kill the boy and leave, but you decide not to. And at this point, you'd think you'd be shocked by his persistence, but realistically, it's just normal.
Time to go home, Pete.
I'm trying to save you!
Save you? Save you from what? From being horrifically wealthy? From revolutionizing the world and equalizing the playing field between you and Tony Stark? Oh. But then he saves you. You had just tried to kill him multiple times. You threatened him. You did all of this stuff and he still saves you. Okay, this kid is a bit different. And I mean, you get arrested and thrown in jail. You know what? That's just what happens when you make decisions like yours. But your family sticks by you. They still love and support you and visit you. And that's what matters. All this time you thought they would leave you or whatever, but they didn't. Peter might have brought you down, but realistically, someone probably would have in the end anyway. You had a fantastic 8 years, and you did squirrel enough away that you can ride some of this out, and when you get out, you'll be on your feet. So when this fucking guy comes in and asks you about Pete, you give him the old misdirection, because in your life and at your age, respect is the only currency in this world that matters, and that kid, at least for now, has your respect. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and if you like the video, please give it a like and consider subscribing. There was no weekly poll this week, sorry about that, but I just wanted to do this video. I might do another one without a poll next week and then continue from there, just so I can knock out some of these things that have been on the poll for a very long time. Twilight will definitely be for Halloween though, just throwing that one out there. And Final Destination as well, if you've forgotten about that. Other than that, I just want to shout out my members real quick, especially Alexander Colburn and Good Old Granite. Thank you guys, your support means everything to me. And of course, Lavender, Zyla, Toast the Bread, Takaru, and Alan. Thank you. Have a great day and have a great life.
Though I'm a different man, I hope